Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bowie State Sports Talk. Today we got a jam-packed episode. We got the CIAA Tournament. We got the HBCU Legacy Bowl. We got softball. We got the start of the tennis season, man. We got this, that, and the third. But more importantly, let's start with the question of the day. The question of the day today is, what is the most iconic sports announcer play call ever? To me, I gotta go with the honorable mention first. The honorable mention is, I don't know his name, but the WWE person who says, "Let's get ready to rumble." I could remember, I gotta take some energy for the gym, for the treadmill. That's number two. And for me, the most iconic one ever is easily Mike saying "bang." Like, nothing is more iconic than that. I don't care. Nothing is more iconic. Like today, it's like the 7-year anniversary of him saying the double bang for Steph Curry shot against the OKC Thunder. Like his games, he did up Game 6 with Ray Allen, but Steph Curry versus the Thunder, iconic. Like there's nothing more iconic than that. If you disagree, let me know and DM me on Instagram or Twitter your answers, and I'll read them at the end. But for those of you that didn't know, the HBCU Legacy Bowl and Combine happened over the weekend. The HBCU Legacy Bowl is a postseason all-star game showcasing the best NFL draft-eligible football players from HBCUs. It was broadcasted live on NFL Network. Unlike the Pro Bowl, players were actually out there hitting during the Legacy Bowl. All 32 NFL teams had scouts and evaluators there to evaluate the draft-eligible players ahead of the NFL draft in April. 6 Bulldogs were elected to take place in the Legacy Bowl. One Bulldog really stood out. That one Bulldog was defensive end Joshua Pryor. According to Sports Illustrated, Joshua was the top performing defensive player, and his draft stock went through the roof due to the Legacy Bowl game. According to Emory Hunt from CBS Sports, Joshua was also the best defender. He recorded 2 sacks, 3 tackles for losses, and 7 tackles in the game. The offensive coordinator for Elizabeth City State football team said he's so thankful he don't got to make game plans against Joshua anymore because this was Joshua's last season. He's now going to the NFL, hopefully. And the offensive line coach for Winston-Salem State also said, real talk, he's been the best player in the CIAA for the last 3 seasons. So, hey, they're not lying. That boy different. That's why he was the top defender, like the best defensive player there at the HBCU Legacy Bowl. You know, coaches that he played against are proving it. Raymond Bone also played good as he got 1 interception. And an article about a Bowie State quarterback who was also a part of the Legacy Bowl, DJ Gollett, was posted on the Washington Commanders website written by Zach Zelby. Commanders just got rid of y'all quarterback, Carson Wentz. So, hey, that might be open spot for DJ. Open spot and open salary for DJ. But look, I'm not talking about the future. Let me see what this y'all talking about. John Reagan breaking free on 3rd and 1 to win the Super Bowl against Miami. Now, I should have worded my question better. Cause that's just a one-time thing. I mean, like a thing that's said over and over again. Like, let's get ready to rumble. It's said over and over again. Bang is said over and over again in the 4th quarter. That call right there was just like a one-time call. So I should have said like the most something that happened over and over and over again. Like the Hornets announcer, when something exciting happened, he'd be like, Italy, 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 something like that, right? So that's just a one-time call, like a one-time thing. This is like probably his first time saying that or calling that play. He never said something like that again, the announcer. But Mike, he was saying bang every time someone make a clutch shot in a close game. Let's get ready to rumble. The guy said that all the time. You know what I mean? I'm making sense. Hopefully I'm making sense. But I appreciate the answer, Taz Sims. Appreciate it. Now on to basketball. Bowie's women's basketball team season came to an end as they lost to Elizabeth City State in the second round of the CIAA playoffs. In the first half, Bowie State was going on runs, but so was Elizabeth City. In the first quarter, the Bulldogs were on a 5-0 run to cut the deficit to 15-12. Then Elizabeth City State went on a 6-0 run to end the quarter, taking a 21-12 lead. The Bulldogs started the second quarter with a 6-0 run of their own, cutting the deficit back to 18-21. Elizabeth City responded once and again, outscored the Bulldogs 17-9 for the remaining of the quarter, making the score at halftime 38-27. But the third quarter, it was an absolute disaster for the Bulldogs. Like, they come out at halftime ice cold. Not ice cold in the good way, like Trae Young, but ice cold. They got outscored 20-7, making the game out of reach. As the score entering the fourth quarter was 58-34. Because they got outscored 20-7 in the third quarter. So at that point, the game was out of reach. The Bulldogs shot 1 for 12 from the field in the third quarter. 5 of the 7 points in the third quarter came from the free throw line. The Bulldogs, they had a good fourth quarter. They shot 7 for 14 and outscored Elizabeth City 20-18. But that wasn't enough. The final score was 76-54. Now, C-Nice, she represented the Wild Room as well. She had her season high and led the Bulldogs to score with 17 points. And Anna Harris, who I said was going to have to step up, didn't do so good. She only had 12 points. And the fact that I'm saying she only had 12 points is, shows how good of a player she is. She be having 20-point games during the season, 20. But she only had 12 points, which is pretty good for a player. But a player of her caliber, that was a pretty, bad performance in a much-needed win game. I said Shania Jackson need to turn into Shania O'Neal again. Well, she didn't again. She only had 5 points and 7 rebounds. 7 boards is great, but 5 points isn't, O'Neal style like she did in the final game of the regular season. I also said Jayla Urban is going to have to play big, as she did a few times this season. She had 3 20-point games this regular season. She only had 5 points in the winner-go-home game against Elizabeth City. Now, I said even though Bowie State was 2-0 against Elizabeth City in the regular season, they could still lose in the playoffs where it mattered most. So, I thought we was going to move on, but I didn't, take it. I said take what I said with a grain of salt because of us having a history of losing against teams in the playoffs after sweeping them in the regular season. Last year, we swept Virginia in the regular season, but we lost them in the playoffs. This year, we swept Elizabeth City in the regular season, but we lost against them in the playoffs. Also, a few weeks ago, live on air, I said one-man basketball is over. You now need a team to win the game. You can't carry a team. You cannot carry a team to victory anymore. Well, I'm wrong. My apologies. A player from Elizabeth City State, Nyasia Blango, proved me wrong. She finished the game with 30 points. 30 points. She had more players than the top 2 Bulldogs players combined. That says a lot. And the second leading scorer on her team only had 9 points. She's the only player on her team with double digits, being 30. And second leading scorer only had 9 points. Respect, man, respect. But I wonder if COVID is causing the downfall right now of these seasons for the BSU men's basketball team and the women's basketball team, because that before COVID, I'll talk about the men a little later, but before COVID, before the 2020 season, COVID hit, women's team was greatness. In 2019 and 2020, they went 25-5, 15-0 at home, 12-3 against conference. They hit a game-winning buzzer beater in the playoffs to advance to the next round, made it to the finals. They ended up losing, but they still made it. On March 13th, 2020, they had the game versus Virginia Union in the CIAA Atlantic region, and that got canceled due to COVID. And it's like, ever since that happened, the Lady Bulldogs have never been the same. I think them missing a whole season due to COVID killed their momentum. Because honestly, their momentum from 2019-2020 season should have carried over to 2020-2021 season. But that season got canceled due to COVID. So I feel like their whole momentum also got canceled. And that sucks because they were struggling ever since. Last year, they went 14. I want to say 12 and 14. They lost their first playoff game. This year, they went 14 and 12. Lost their first playoff game. So it's been all downhill ever since COVID, man. All downhill. But now into the men's basketball team. The men's basketball team season also came to an end as they lost to Shaw in the first round of the CIAA Tournament. They finished the season 7-22. The final score against Shaw was 53-63. The Bulldogs started this game off very slow. They only scored 2 points in the 12-minute span. 2 points in a 12-minute span is insane, unacceptable. Definitely in a big game, a win or go home game, you can't win only scoring 2 points in a 12-minute game. But look, 2 points in the 12-minute span. I'm not a head coach, so who am I to talk? Maybe I'm wrong. They didn't score again until there were 7 minutes remaining in the half, and that made the score 4-12 as they were trailing. The game was basically over at that point as they went into halftime, trailing 12-23. They continued to trail for the rest of the second half. Caleb Johnson was the only Bulldog with double-digit points. He had 11 points, while 3 players on Shaw had double digits. Quentin Drayton, Bowie State leading scorer for the season, only had 8 points. Mark Bradshaw, Bowie State's second leading scorer of the season, only had 7 points. This was a 10-point loss. If those 2 players, the 2 leading scorers, stepped up big and scored, more than 8 points, more than 7 points, Bowie could have won this game easily, even after scoring 2 points in a 12-minute span. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, Shaw went on to play Fayetteville, the Broncos, and they ended up losing, which I predicted that. I said whoever went between Bowie and Shaw is going to go on to play the Broncos in the second round. I said both teams going to lose, whether it's Shaw or Bowie State. So Shaw lost to the Broncos, and if Bowie State beat Shaw and played the Broncos, I believe Bowie State was going to lose as well. So either way, both teams are going to go home early. But congrats to Shaw for moving on. The same way I criticize players, I give them love too. So congratulations to senior Quentin Drayton as he was selected to the 2023 CIAA All-Conference team. He averaged 12.4 points per game and scored double-digit points 17 times, including his season high 34 points. Ever since COVID, the men's Bulldogs have been struggling. Prior to the 2020-2021 season, that got shut down due to COVID, the men's team never, ever, since stats started being recorded, never had a single-digit win season. What I mean is that from their first season recorded, which is 2007 to 2008, to the season before COVID, 2019 to 2020, they were a double-digit winning team. But ever since COVID, the 2022 to 2023 season, and this season, the 2021 to 2022, and 2022 to 2023 season, they had not gotten over 10 wins. I have no idea what's causing that because they have the same head coach, Darrell Brooks, who's been coaching this team for 11 seasons and won 2 CIAA championships with this team. So I don't know what's causing that. But switch topics a little bit. Y'all know something crazy? Bowie State played Duke University in the past. The Division II school played the number 1 ranked D1 basketball school ever. In 2017, we played them and lost 53-116, which is very understandable. Their 4 leading scorers scored 25 points, 23 points, 22, and 21 points. Them 4 outscored Bowie State whole team alone. Now that's understandable. Let me tell y'all who those 4. No, we get the softball in a while back, but in my chat, softball's coming after basketball. So give it a few minutes. Those 4 players who outscored Bowie State was Marvin Bagley III, Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., and Grayson Allen. Do those names sound familiar to y'all? They do, don't they? Because they was all future NBA players. So of course they outscored Bowie State and don't go alone. Understandable. We also played Duke in 2013. Duke had 3 noticeable future NBA stars on the team: Rodney Hood, Jabari Parker, and Quinn Cook. Now look, Jabari Parker was a beast in college. Like, you're different when the greatest rapper of all time gave him props in the song. He said, "I am up next like Jabari now." Montana at 300 in his shout out remix. Jabari was a beast in college. I don't know what happened in pros, but in college he was a beast. That's when Quinn Cook, he went on ahead to win 2 championships with the Golden State Warriors and the Lakers. So but that's not surprising enough because the Bulldogs played a few future NBA stars. But I'm gonna just name one, like the most noticeable one that's not from Duke was Yato Watanabe, who some of y'all know. He played on the I think it was the Raptors. Got dunked on by Ant-Man in the bubble. Now he's on the Brooklyn Nets, so a great 3-point shooter. Something that never changed. But the answer to why we play Duke is because that whoever wins the CIAA tournament plays Duke at the start of the following season. So we won a tournament in 2012. We played Duke at the start of 2013. Same thing with 2017. But fortunately, it's an exhibition game, so it don't count towards our record, but it counted in another way. Because, like, I'm 99% sure that there was NBA scouts at the game because it's Duke. You know, it can be in practice, it can be playoffs, it can be regular season, it can be a scrimmage. NBA scouts are going to be at Duke games. I don't care what y'all say, because they are. So some Bulldogs got a chance to put on a show in front of NBA scouts. So it's a win. It's a win-loss, win-win, how you want to pronounce it, how you want to say, for the Bulldogs. But now on to softball, as Backward Freeman in my chat is asking. Softball, hopefully you're listening. The softball team is now 5-3 after going 1-2 last week. They got a dub against New Haven on Friday, 10-4. Ashaya Alexander finished the game with 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 RBI, and 3 stolen bases. Putting in work alongside her that game was Lindsey George. As she was 3 for 4 at the plate, she got a double, scored 2 runs, got 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and most importantly, 1 home run. So shout out to her, man, because she's already gotten 3 home runs this season in 8 games, after not hitting a single home run last season in 25 games. So I don't know what she did during the offseason, but keep doing that every offseason. Just 3 home runs in 8 games after hitting no home runs in 25 games is a major, major, major improvement. Because hitting home runs is like, I would probably say top 200 things to do in baseball. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think number 1 is getting a perfect game, like no-hit game. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. And I don't know what it is, but there's something about these Lindsay's at Bowie State, man. Like, they some dogs. Literally and figuratively. You know, literally they're bulldogs. They at Bowie State. They're some dogs because they're some dogs at the sports they play. All right, I'm sorry. That joke sounded better in my head. You know, that's why I'm not a comedian. If you're an OG, meaning that you've been here since day 1, you're going to remember this name. Lindsey Grossman was the best player on the Bowie State volleyball team. And now Lindsey George is the top player on the softball team. Like I said, these Lindsays, some dogs here, man. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, my God. I'm hilarious. I don't care what nobody say. Like, my jokes might go over people's heads, but I always make myself laugh. That's, like, most important to me. But either way, the Bulldogs also played against Chowan. I say lost 1-7. I don't know what it is, but the Bulldogs cannot beat that team. They are 1-26 all time against Chowan. The last time we beat them was in 2017. That game was a close game until the bottom 6. At the start of the bottom 6, the score was tied 1-1. Lindsay hit a home run for the Bulldogs in the top 4. Chowan scored in the bottom 4, making it 1-1. But then, Chowan scored 6 unanswered points in the bottom of the 6th to take the lead 7-1. The Bulldogs still had a chance to win or tie the game in the top 7, but they didn't score at all. So it was ball game. They went on to play Frostburg. I don't know if that school sounds familiar, don't it, Mr. Taz Sims? Frostburg, the school you went to. You didn't graduate. You didn't graduate. School you went to. The Bulldogs lost 7-6 against Frostburg. Frostburg took a 3-0 lead in the first inning and never trailed after. Akira Pullen had a good game for the Bulldogs. She had run, which was a home run, her second of the season. 3 RBIs, 3 hits. So she got 3 hits out of the 4 times she was at the plate. So she had the best game for the Bulldogs, but they still lost the game 7-6. Now on to tennis. Basketball may have come to an end, but tennis is coming to a beginning. As the Lady Bulldogs season kicks off this Saturday against Elizabeth City. Last season was the best season for the Bulldogs ever. They went 11-4 and 8-2 versus conference. Now, one of those 2 conference losses came in the CIAA semifinals, which was their first time ever making it that far. So, congrats to them. Hopefully, they make it there again and then further this year. They lost against Johnson C. Smith 0-5. That loss made them 0-12 against Johnson C. Smith all time. We got to get a dub this season, man. We got to get a dub. We got to. 0-12 is crazy. I, I, I practiced this name, and I'm still kind of struggling. Africa Gently won the CIAA Player of the Year and made the All CIAA team for the Bulldogs. She finished the regular season with the unbeaten, perfect 8-0 record, playing the number one singles position, including a perfect 6-0 record against CIAA competition. Tamani and Kayla also made the CIAA team for tennis. So that is it for today's episode of Bowie State Sports Talk. But stay tuned. I gotta talk about the after show. Man. After show, the best part of the show, if you ask me. Let me see what the chat saying. Hold on. He had to beat a team 3 times in the season. Duke was a Division I college with top players. Yeah, man. Duke was a monster. They had I'm so glad. Actually, no, I'm mad that we did play Zion when he was. Actually, no, I'm because they don't play here. They play at Duke, so I'm kind of glad we didn't play Zion because Zion would have destroyed us. Man, if he played Zion, I would have cried for the Bulldogs because that boy Zion was a monster. But still, Marvin Bagley, Wendell Carter, who else did I say? All of them, there's some dogs too. But that boy Zion at Duke, if he would have played him, I would have flew to Duke and watched him myself. I don't care. And I'm broke. Y'all know that. I would have got away to get on the plane to go watch them. How's it? The bowling team, they had a tournament on February 17th, according to the schedule. But there's still no stats showing what the outcome was. So that's why I've been, chilling about the bowling team. I was saying anything about the bowling team. I can't find no stats or no news or nothing about the bowling team. So that's why there's been no updates about the bowling team. But what I'm gonna talk about first. Oh. The Clippers, man, such a disappointment. At this point, I know the trade deadline is over, but can we trade Westbrook for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Who says no? What's the one arena that Westbrook don't get booed in? The fans there love him. OKC Thunder. What's the one team that Westbrook had his best seasons of all time with? OKC Thunder. So if you ask me, I know the trade deadline over. The Clippers should find a way to trade Westbrook for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Who says no? I think it's a fair trade if you ask me. 2 players from their hometown team, so to say, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Because this man Westbrook, I can't. And if y'all didn't watch last night's game with the Clippers, Westbrook didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. And obviously that type of stuff is what got him angry at the Lakers head coach. That led to an argument and whatnot. And I feel like it's 3 games with Westbrook, and that's always starting to happen with Tyronn Lue. But you say that while the season is long, he I don't know what you mean about that. But either way, it's just 3 games already with Westbrook and the Clippers, I think. And I'm not feeling it. I'm not. I'm sorry. It should have never happened. I'm not sorry now I think about it. I'm about to tear up, man. I've been in a life this is probably the most depressing state I've been in as a Clippers fan. And I had to sit through the days without Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. When they left. Before we got Kawhi and Paul George. But man, two losses back to back, one in double overtime, and one last night in overtime against the Nuggets. The same team that the Memphis blew out. Why couldn't we blow them out? We got 3 superstars. Memphis only got 1 superstar. And I don't know if y'all need to be ready at playoff time. I mean, yeah, but the coach saying him out the whole fourth quarter, he's not gonna be ready. I feel like playoff time, he gonna say, okay, he gonna make us lose on purpose. You want to see me at the whole fourth quarter? Bet. Turnover, air ball, turnover, air ball, little layup, break. That's just what I think, though. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. But Dame Lillard, man, that boy scored 71 points and got drug tested immediately after. As soon as he stepped foot in the locker room, drug test. I don't know what kind of drugs help someone become that good at basketball. Give them to me because I need them. And it's crazy that he's getting drug tested. Dame Lillard is a superstar. He shouldn't be getting drug tested for scoring 71. I'm sorry. Is someone let me see. If someone like Alex Caruso come out here score 71, drug test him immediately, mid game. I don't care. Don't wait till the game over. At the next time out or the next dead ball, drug test him. Because Alex Caruso is not like that. No disrespect. He's not a scorer. If he scores 71, drug test him. But if Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, if they score 71, why are they getting drug tested? They got that dog in them. Like they like that. They're like the best scorers in the league. I wonder if Wilt got drug tested. Like he got like 35, 70-point games. He got drug tested 35 times. That way Wilt was different. Like, oh my God. Best one talking about LeBron James, man. He's been out, like his ankle been killing him ever since the scoring record. Like even during that game versus OKC Thunder, he was taking off his shoes every time he went to the bench. But still, like, I'm kind of worried for the Lakers, man. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Obviously, no healthy LeBron, no chance. I don't care how healthy AD is. Like both of them gotta be healthy. No healthy AD, healthy LeBron. Team not going anywhere. No healthy LeBron, but healthy AD. Team not going anywhere. Like both of them need to be healthy. And obviously, I'm a Clippers fan, so I should be paying on their downfall. But I'm also a LeBron fan. He is getting old. Getting old. Yeah, that's true. But still, man, I hope LeBron get better. Like I said, I want the Lakers to lose. I want LeBron to win. If that makes sense. You feel me? What else I want to talk about doing after the show? Let me see. I think that's about it, man. I got 5 viewers in here. I think that's my most viewers in the live at one time. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all want my autograph? Just let me know. I've been practicing my autograph. I have it. I'm lying, but still, I can start practicing my autograph. Oh yeah, Nikola Jokic. Go ahead, give Nikola Jokic MVP right now. Now on this day, February 27th, hand it to him. No point. I'm sorry. He's the MVP. What is KD doing? KD's out hurt right now, isn't he? Yeah, KD out hurt. He hasn't been doing nothing but recovering. Hopefully he said that way, stay recovering. Because that as a Clippers fan, I don't want to go against him in the playoffs or the Suns. So hopefully by the time playoffs start, he's still not healthy. And Suns get kicked out in the first round. But I'm not waiting on an injury. I'm just waiting on a slow recovery. Hopefully that's not terrible either. Question for next week: best fighter in the world. I don't watch too much boxing, too much MMA, too much UFC, kickboxing. So I honestly don't have no answer. Like I don't ask a question that I don't really know. But like I can't even see tell you who's like the best between Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, or Floyd Mayweather. Like that's how you know I'm not like a real fighter fan. My team would win it all. Wizards win it all in the G League, not in the NBA. The best chance I got at winning is the in-season tournament that Adam Silver talking about. Who has the best mother in the world? That's a great question. I should have an answer by next Monday. Who got the best mother in the world? Let me see. That's a tough one. Dang. Whew. This is too much thinking. I'm just kidding. I do, obviously. I do. I do. I love you, Mom. I love you. Like I said, I'm a comedian. I don't care what nobody says, man. If I get tired of school, I'm dropping out and doing stand-up comedy on the stage. I'm going on American Got Talent and making a sad, depressing backstory and telling terrible jokes. I'm gonna get the golden buzzer. I got a terrible sad backstory. That's how that is in American Got Talent. So I'm ready to jump out of school. American Got Talent, sad backstory, and terrible jokes. Winning what's that? $1 million. I think the winner wins or whatever. Let me get off the air. I'm pretty sure nobody listens to me more. Like I said, thank you for tuning in to WBSU Radio. I'm your host, Jalen Sims. Another great podcast of Bowie State Sports Talk. See you all next Monday. Okay. Like I said, I don't think anybody's listening to the radio. I might have been wrong. But either who.